Alright, and I'm back here for Game 2 between Absolute Legends and No Tidehunter. No Tidehunter taking a very strong mid-game victory in the first game. They played their draft exactly how they needed to. They got a little bit of an advantage, and they just pressured and pressured and pressured until Absolute Legends couldn't stand against their lineup anymore. The Storm Spirit play from S4, so effective in that game. Really, really excellent. We'll see what AL can do to try and run it back this time around. We'll see if they...
Yeah.
My apologies, guys. I forgot to turn the ringer off on my phone. I usually do that before I cast, but it's off now. Nyx and Wisp's going to be the initial bans out. No Tidehunter not wanting to give AL that first pick Wisp. I'll have to see if any interesting bans come out for the first phase. Maybe AL doesn't want to deal with that Storm Spirit again. Maybe they're thinking that, NTH will pick it up early to try and avoid it getting banned out in the second phase. But I mean, if you ban out a Storm Spirit in phase 1, the things you'll end up leaving open, I mean, they'll have first pick, but basically if they ban out a Storm Spirit now, then no Tidehunter can ban out, like, okay, they're banning out the Magnus. They don't want to have to deal with that. But now, okay, so look at this. We still have on the board, you still have things like Caudle, Darkseer, Batrider. So if no Tidehunter bans out maybe none of those three heroes, they ban out something that will, basically something that's pretty strong, like a Shadow Demon or like a Lifestealer maybe, that they don't want to deal with, but that's not like a god tier sort of ban. Basically, if there's three super excellent heroes left on the board, AL gets one of them and no Tidehunter gets the other two for free. They don't want to do that. They just aren't. They figure that the option of getting two of those three isn't worth giving up the Batrider and letting it through, and Keeper of the Light is going to be the first pick from AL. Would not be surprised to see that Darkseer come back out. Boom. Bulldog got some beautiful replica walls in that first game, so I would not be surprised to see him handling the Darkseer once again. We'll find out. Second pick. They could go for supports. They could go for the Gyrocopter again. Loda did so much work with that. And Gyrocopter and Darkseer is a very potent combination, as is Darkseer with any AoE hero, as we know.
5 seconds remaining.
But they're just gonna take their time. Who else could they pick up real quickly? The Magnus is banned out. They could get the Lifestealer early if that's what they want to run as their carry. They could get a Shadow Demon maybe and start setting up their support for their tri-lane. If they want to pick up, if they value the Rubik highly enough to pick him up this early, they might grab him, because AL has obviously shown that they value the Rubik very much and are perfectly willing to grab him. They're going to give Bulldog his Lone Druid. That's going to be a mid Darkseer and an off-lane Lone Druid. And this, again, I mentioned this in the picking phase of Game 1, that now that those lanes are okay, they're not like 100% set. You could do a couple other things, but you can mostly assume those are going to be your two solo heroes and start banning out tri-lane heroes when the second phase comes around. Start picking out very strong tri-lane heroes right now. Shadow Demon and Phantom Lancer, that is a potent tri-lane they've picked themselves right there. So they've done kind of the same thing and drafted themselves to where now they just need a mid and an off-laner, so no Tidehunter can focus their bans there. But I guess they thought it was worth it to get that level of tri-lane, because that's an incredibly safe farming lane for a hero like Phantom Lancer, who can just run all over the game if he has enough farm. I mean, the level of split push and the strength of his carry potential are both a little ridiculous at the moment.
5 seconds
now, I don't hate him. I actually really enjoy playing him myself. I kind of like playing those heroes that everyone thinks are no fun, and everyone's like, I like Anti-Mage, I like Phantom Lancer, but I do think he's a very strong carry right now. That 2.8 to 4.2 agi gain kick up really helped his potential. What a shocker, right? Giving him 50% more agility per level would make him a powerful hero. And yet he's still not so overpowered as to be ban worthy most of the time, or at least not first phase ban. So you have to think, how weak was he before this buff came in? No Tidehunter thinking about their third pickup. S4 analyzing. They're burning off a lot of their reserve time. Want to be very, very careful here. I would maybe think about grabbing a Rubik, just because he's such an incredibly strong support.
10 seconds remaining.
And he's able to do a lot of things. Oh no, they're going to get the Sven. So that's going to be load on Sven most likely. I think no Tidehunter. No Tidehunter is one of the few teams that still runs a carry Sven. But it could still be a support Sven, either way. I think the other team that really still thinks about carry Sven is EG. Fear on that Sven is can be pretty darn monstrous at times. Second ban phase enters. So yeah, AL going to be banning out tri-lane supports to go with that Sven. And no Tidehunter going to be banning out mids and offlaners.
Remaining.
We'll see what they come up with. I would ban out the Rubik if I was AL. Who else would I ban out? Probably the Venomancer. Oh, they're going to ban out the Night Stalker? That's... Why? I mean, unless they're thinking they're going to tri-lane the Lone Druid and it's going to be a support Sven, but when you have Bulldog on your team and you get a Lone Druid, you can pretty much assume Bulldog's going to be playing the Lone Druid. Maybe they're thinking they'll put the Lone... That ban doesn't make sense to me. Maybe someone in either the Twitch chat, which I can check after the game, can explain it to me, or in the YouTube comments. If that ban makes sense to you, please let me know. But it just feels like a waste to me when they could be banning out much more valuable heroes. The Bounty Hunter ban, of course. Tinker? You're banning out... They're banning out solo heroes. Maybe they know something I don't, and that's going to be a tri-lane Lone Druid. That's all I can think of right now, is the logic behind their bans. But I don't know. We'll see. Maybe they're a whole lot smarter than I am, which is perfectly possible because they're a professional Dota team and I'm not. But obviously the no Tidehunter ban makes a lot more sense to me, like I said. And now, yeah, banning out Queen of Pain can either be a mid or an offlaner. Very, very powerful. Very strong mid-game presence. And if they are going to be farming both the Sven and the Lone Druid, they're going to want to at least get a decent chunk of early and mid-game farm before they really want to start engaging fights. Final ban coming out here from Absolute Legends. I would still ban out the Rubik or, you know, the other supports, but Leshrac. Okay, that ban I'm totally okay with because Leshrac with Sven is perfectly powerful. If they are going to be tri-laning the Sven, I expect them to pick up Alina as their fourth pick. Like if they're going to be tri-laning the Sven as a carry, although you could put Alina as your last tri-line support if you're going to be going Sven, Lone Druid, Lina. And just hope for the roots, I guess. Who's still in there? Templar Assassin is still in there. Although if they're going to be midding the Darkseer, which seems most likely to me, they probably won't care about banning out a TA.
10 seconds remaining.
Trying to think. The Storm Spirit's still in there. They could ban him out. Not have to deal with him. Windrunner. Okay.
Dire team pick.
Yeah, banning out another offlaner. Not wanting to let AL get any sort of farm against their tri-lane. Brewmaster going to be picked up for the mid lane.
Radiant team
That's I mean, the clap is really strong and really nice to spammable once you have the bottle, but at the same time, a melee mid against what... Maybe I'm still just dumb thinking this Darkseer is going to be mid, but if he does end up mid, the Brewmaster might have a little bit of trouble there, trying to lower the creeps down so he can clap them. Lina?
10 seconds.
Come on, make me
remaining.
right. Make me right for once about this drafting phase. Come on.
5 seconds remaining.
Maybe a... Disruptor, okay.
Dire team pick.
I mean, yeah, I mean, with a setup stun, Disruptor is perfectly powerful, and Glimpse is, of course, an amazing ability. Cannot be said enough how good Glimpse can be in a lot of different situations. Be it saving people, porting people away who just TP'd in, especially with that Keeper of the Light, if they port away whoever he recalls in when they're about to start a fight, So, you know, the Phantom Lancer is just off farming, gets recalled by the Coddle.
10 seconds
Now Phantom
remaining.
Lancer is back in farmland, and they take a fight and take whatever towers they need to off of it.
5 seconds remaining.
Basically, any strat that has, like, a significant global component as part of
Reserve
its core effectiveness, Disruptor is really good at breaking. Because as long as he's present when the global component is activated, he can ruin it. He can be particularly good against Wisp, although last time I saw him picked against Wisp, he did reasonably poorly. I think that was last night. Because people just rushed to BKB, so he couldn't port them away. Final pick from AL. Most likely going to be their offlaner. Unless they want to offlane a Brew, but I don't think anyone really does that. I've seen it maybe twice, ever. Who's left as a powerful offlaner? I mean, they even... Oh, of course. There we go. The guy who's been becoming so popular lately, popularized by, I think it was Virtus Pro's Santa that started picking him up and showing people what could be done with the clockwork, saying, hey, look at these 5-second level 1 cogs.
Chen.
And oh, Chen picked up. So, I mean, I have to say, that's going to be a Sven Disruptor Chen tri-lane bottom most likely, Lone Druid in the off lane, and just Darkseer in the mid. So, again, I was right about the draft, and those bans from Absolute Legends made no sense. But, I mean, so that's going to be a farming Sven without any of the traditional Sven supports. They're just looking to get him farmed as an actual carry, not do anything particularly gimmicky with him. Alright, looking at Absolute Legends, we have Unicorn on the Phantom Lancer, Miguel on the Clockwork, Miracle on the Brewmaster, Rise on the Shadow Demon, and Mania on the Keeper of the Light. We're going to have over on No Tidehunter, S4 playing our mid Darkseer, EGM on the Disruptor. Going to have Ake on the Chen, Loda on Sven, and Admiral Bulldog, of course. Who better than Bulldog to play our Lone Druid? Going the double shield build on the bear? Is he going to jungle this instead of going up against that tri-lane? I guess that's perfectly possible just because Shadow Demon, the disruption on the bear, like if he tries to get the traditional bear pulls that are right up here, basically you disrupt the bear, and since disruption technically removes the unit from the map, the creeps just don't care, walk right past, and then 2.5 seconds later your bear is getting killed instead of pulling you creeps for you to farm.
30 seconds to show time.
So I think they might just... no, okay. Okay, no. No. It was so weird to me, the idea that there was a bear with 2 shields. Maybe I'm just crazy and I don't look at the Spirit Bear enough. That could also be quite true. Bear gonna be scouting it out. Mania gonna find it and say, "Hey, bear, bear,
And
come
here we go.
Give me your bear fur. I want a rug." Bulldog's just gonna fall back, and there's the bear trying to get the pull.
Radiant on one side, Dire
Pull
on
things
the
all the
other.
way back. Disruption on the bear. Disruption. I don't know. I guess they don't care. They just want to keep hitting it.
Double damage.
Chen gonna get the double damage rune, spawning bot lane, and away we go. Clockwork has actually proven himself to be, just because of the power of those cogs, not only can he pull the creep lane back like he's doing right now, but Santa in particular has shown how you can basically just use the cogs to mana burn the crap out of everyone, so that, and once you've mana burned off all the support mana and maybe some of the carry mana as well, if they don't have mana, they can't actually engage on you in a tri-lane, because you can always just cog your way away. And look at the damage Miracle's taking from this mid-darks here. I feel like they didn't see this coming. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. But not seeing a mid-Darkseer coming out when you saw Darkseer Lone Druid as the first 2 picks would just blow my mind if they made that kind of drafting blunder. But that's what it feels like to me. And look, we're already having support coming out from Mania and Rise. They're trying to keep the creeps from being pulled over to the Lone Druid. But at the same time, did they kill his bear? I think they did. Ouch. Yeah, I don't see the bear anywhere on the maps. That's actually... I mean, Bulldog's going to have a resummon, but he can't just... if he wants to just keep trying to pull with it, he can't just throw it away over and over. I guess they must have disrupted it real quick and used stuff to block it off to try and get that last kill. And if they shut down Bulldog's Bear, Bulldog is well known as one of the best, the premier lone druid players in the game. Alright, Miracle getting his bottle out. That'll help him survive that Ion Shell harass a little better. Looks like S4 just going to be stacking up these creeps so he can farm them up. Miracle getting a little bit of free farming experience in the lane for now. Stomp going off, but Stomp is not quite as much damage as Ion Shell there, buddy. Just not nearly as effective. And Surge, oh, he's gonna Surge up to get the rune. Saw that Miracle was kind of in position to beat him to it and just said, nope, max move speed. So you do have Loda, of course, farming up down here. Pretty much uncontested, 16-5. Darkseer slightly winning the mid lane on last hits, but not actually getting any denies. So he's 12-0 to an 11-4 of Miracle, so not half bad. I'd actually say Miracle winning that a little if he can keep the experience down on the Darkseer, giving himself more of an advantage. He's going stats to try and prevent some of that harass and make sure that he has... Oh, he's getting chased down now by the Ion Shell damage. Look at that, the level of damage that comes out from that. Phantom Lancer, Unicorn drawing first blood against Bulldog's Lone Druid.
Ouch.
And that's going to be a nice start for this tri-lane. Not only are they slowing down Bulldog, preventing him from getting a significant sort of pull going on, doing excellent job at preventing that bear from pulling off creeps and getting him the free experience that he so likes in these tri-lanes, or against these tri-lanes, excuse me. But getting a little bit of extra XP, a little bit of extra gold for the Phantom Lancer is pretty significant. Give him a faster start. And he's already finishes up his Tranquil Boots. S4 also now with a bottle, and now the higher this Ion Shell gets, the more this lane is going to favor S4. And that's my personal opinion. Especially with Miracle having to bottle Crow, because you can't rune control against Surge. It's just not possible. He's always going to beat you to them unless you have somebody backing you up in the other lanes. So basically, unless you want to give up experience to guess early, and if you're mid, you want to be guessing top, because it's so much less distance to get from here back to the lane to get back into experience range than it is to go like all the way down here to watch the rune and then try to get back into experience range. And you're also a lot less vulnerable. So the fact that the support he has that could check runes for him, and Darkseer just getting right to that rune, he doesn't even care, because that Surge, his support, since they're sitting top lane mostly, would basically be watching the top lane for him. He doesn't want to be so far out that he is gonna end up oh, we do have a push coming out in the bottom lane. He doesn't want to be caught far enough out that he can't get back into experience range and give S4 even more of a mid lane advantage. And so if the rune is top, they'll get it, but if it's bottom, S4 will still get it. So it's still 50-50, even if you have support coming to help you. And basically, if you have support watching the runes for you, you want it to be 100%. Bot tower already going down. They don't even care with the Chen Centaur coming out. Loda already skilling Cleave over Warcry. They're saying we're not going to be getting any kills on this Clockwork, but we can definitely push this lane if I have this Cleave and just kill everything. And oh, Miguel getting glimpsed back in, and he burns the cogs before the glimpse lands. That's going to be a free kill. Sven stun followed by Centaur stun, and that are they going to get this this bottom tower as well? I feel like it's possible, especially with the Cleave coming out from Sven. Look at how quickly he's taking down these creep waves, even how early it is. But Phantom Lancer are going to be picking up another kill on the Lone Druid up here. That's unfortunate. But it's good for it's good for Absolute Legends, because they really need Phantom Lancer to have an excellent start. Loda may not be getting the kills, but with a couple of tower kills under his belt, that's going to help him a lot as well. And there's 2 tower kills for Sven at the 5.5 minute mark. That may not bode well for AL, especially because a Phantom Lancer pick... Phantom Lancer, he's an excellent hero, but something I didn't mention during the draft that I should have, because I didn't really think about it then. You know what's really good against a hero that's reliant on having an army of illusions is Cleave. Cleave and God Strength. If you bomb off the God Strength, take 2 Cleave hits, pretty much until he has like a heart, which isn't really in the cards. Generally you see Diffusal Blade and Manta first, just to get the army up faster. Maybe he'll want to build a little more durable, but you still need the Diffusal Blade early to get any damage done. Basically, if you're going against an illusion hero and you just cleave down all his illusions, he can try to repopulate them. As soon as one of them spawns, it's going to get instantly killed. Looks like we might have another setup coming in on Bulldog up here. Disruption gonna come out, maybe? Yeah, there's the Disruption coming out from Rise. Soul Catcher, Poison coming out, Quick Lance coming out from Unicorn to try and kill off Bulldog. Damage still coming out. The illusion gonna finish him off. S4 though says, "Hi Rise, I have a haste rune and an ion shell. I don't even need to punch you. It's more damage for me to just run around you with the ion shell than to waste time auto attacking and let you get out of the way." And saying that his life lacked a point, just like his head. No, why Darkseer doesn't like you? Because you have a round head. How many brains can you fit into a round head? Not as many as a pointy head. Just ask Piri and Flex. And wow! I should have been looking at that for a while, but look at those last hits over there on S4. He's getting these jungle stacks that he was doing here as well, making sure he gets as much farm as is humanly possible. Tranquil Boots, Magic Wand, Soul Ring, and a bottle. Plenty of regen to spam everything he could ever want in this mid lane. And just 4,000 net worth. He's even beating the Phantom Lancer.
Mid tower could use a little help.
He's, had the extra boosts from having several kills, and boom, just getting immediately glimpsed out is that Brewmaster. And that's going to be really unfortunate for him. Not only does he waste 135 gold on the TP, but now he, of course, is wasting a lot of time running back across the map to the lane he just got ported away from. And S4 wants this mid tower. There's more port in coming in from Coddle, going to try to nuke down this creep wave, or at least pull it off with Rise. Make sure the damage isn't coming in on that mid tower. They think we've already lost too much map control in the bottom lane. If we drop a couple more towers really quickly, it could just spiral out of control because Phantom Lancer will have no place to farm. And Miracle definitely way behind in terms of the mid lane. And you can look at him. He has boots in a bottle. He's going for that blink dagger quickly. It looks like he's got 1,500 saved up. But Darkseer has 1,600 saved up. Has Tranquil's Soul Ring, Wand in a bottle. So he's just got 2 extra items and upgraded boots on top of Miracle right there. Some quick harassment coming out from that Disruptor. And the damage on Thunderstrike is pretty darn impressive for, a level 1 spell. It's 150 damage for a level 1 spell. I believe, excepting Coddle, that's the highest in the game. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. I don't actually know how much Ether Shock is at level 1. I know it's a lot because it only hits 1 target. But I'm not going to nitpick too much about that right now. S4 just coming in, taking out some of these illusions, farming jungle creeps so the illusions can't be doing it for him. Bulldog trying to get some experience going. Has Tranquils on himself. Has no boots yet on the bear. Unicorn just saving up. Has Tranquils in a drum. So get himself a little bit of tankiness, a little bit of attack speed. And there goes the slow coming out on Bulldog. He's gonna try and chase him down here. The illusion's putting some damage out, but oh, the root coming out from the bear as well. And yeah, without the follow-up slow, the single lance just isn't enough. He doesn't have a diffusal to try and purge, buy him some time. And S4 picked up Brewmaster already, now also picking up Shadow Demon, killing off all the creeps. This is going to be a nice, easy push of this tier 1 tower. And it looks like, oh, Unicorn getting, he doesn't have the mana to Doppelwalk. He got rooted really quickly. I don't think that Bear is going to get another, unless, no, alright. Bear does get disarmed, but I was thinking if that bear got one more hit in and it happened to be a root, that would have been ridiculous. And this tier 2 already being pushed. And this is just all-out pushing coming out from this the early cleave Sven here. And oh, S4 does get initiated on, can't get away from that. He does get vacuumed out. Or, excuse me, he vacuums out the Clockwork, so the damage isn't coming out. But the damage from the Brewmaster split, and there goes the Tornado. Going to set everyone up. Does he have a boulder? Yeah, he does have a boulder. Alright. Doesn't matter. Clockwork buys back and flares him for the kill. So a 1-for-1 exchange in the mid lane. And Ake may be going to get picked up next. Miguel trying to be very careful he doesn't get in range of that Centaur. And oh, Dark Troll nets him. So Ake just doing everything he can to try and get out of range. Miracle not going to quite be in range. Loda going to give him a war cry and throw off a stun onto the Brewmaster just to make sure that they can't do anything. Oh, they're going to re-engage on the Brew. He gets glimpsed back to where, and right inside a kinetic field, doesn't quite get out in time. Static Storm going to be placed on the edge because obviously if he runs back closer to them, he's screwed anyway, so he has to just kind of sit in there and tank it. Oh, really excellent turnaround right there by No Tidehunter. They Absolute Legends chased Ake just a little too far. And the stun bought just enough time for the Disruptor to get in for a glimpse. Invisible Shadow Demon coming up towards the top lane, maybe to try to set up on Bulldog. get their PL a little bit of extra farm. He's got his first Blade of Alacrity up towards that Diffusal. Mania just trying to push out this mid lane, make sure they don't lose even more map control. And yep, there goes Bulldog. I'm like sitting here talking, I'm like, yeah, they're about to engage on this hero. I just move the camera across the map and they kill him when I'm not looking. I'm sorry. I'll get better, I promise.
Radiant's bottom tower's seen better days.
Unicorn still just farming up. How are we doing for net worths? And that's Darkseer with the #1 net worth in the game. That just shows you how much of an impact S4 is having. 6,300 net worth already, beating Loda by a cool 1,000. Loda about even with Unicorn right now. So the carries, you know, farming evenly against each other, which depending on who that favors depends purely on itemization and when people choose to engage. Because if the Phantom Lancer tries to go for a really defensive build, then Loda keeping up with him and being able to pressure the rest of his team is a good thing. But if Loda goes for a defensive build, he's not going to beat a Phantom. Well, no, with the Cleave, he is going to beat a Phantom Lancer in the late game. So I think that kind of vaguely favors Loda because he needs less gold to make a lot of things happen. And it looks like there's going to be a big wraparound smoke gank coming in here from no Tidehunter. Who are they going to find? Unicorn is kind of waltzing over in their direction. Oh, they're going to go for the 3 that they have in mid lane. Miracle going to be the first one to get stunned out. Kinetic Field and Static Storm drop. All 3 of them vacuumed right into the Static Storm. What a huge vacuum coming out from S4. Miguel going to go down. Rye's going to go down, and this has to be a push in the mid lane right now. They're thinking about maybe going after that Phantom Lancer who showed himself briefly, but I think they're just going to take this mid tower. I don't see why they wouldn't. Phantom Lancer just trying to harass them with illusions. They have to know those aren't real. But that vacuum from S4 just... I mean, they would have gotten kills anyway, but that just made everything just instant. They had no chance to even put out any damage, burn any unnecessary cooldowns, spend any time chasing. Just kills, and boom, right onto the tower. What S4? S4 just finished a 13.5 minute pipe. 13.5 minute pipe. This is ridiculous. He's been in total control of both games so far. And the hook goes in, but it hits Chen creeps, and Miguel just locks himself in there with 3 high damage creeps, and I can't help but think he did not really want that to happen. Did not hit his intended target. This is looking absolutely brutal. I mean, after that last engagement with the extra gold and experience picked up by no Tidehunter, how are we sitting on the graph? Over 4,000 in XP. It's not massively huge. Getting close to about 7,500 worth of gold advantage, which is pretty significant at the 14.5 minute mark. Gold advantages, you have to kind of think, like in the scale of when in the game you are. Like, 5,000 gold in the early game is not the same as 5,000 gold in the late game. 5,000 gold in the early game can be a pretty huge advantage. So that 5,000 gold would be like, you know, an extra 10 damage on a hero is a lot more in the early game than an extra 10 damages in the late game. But at the same time, I mean, any 7,500 gold lead is strong. Miracle trying to juke out in the back here, but oh, EGM going to come in, going to find him. He's going to get kinetic fielded in. Loda just going to walk in, stun, start whacking him. EGM trying to not die, but it's not even. The Brewmaster just doesn't do enough damage to really threaten. Mech comes out. Third tower, or excuse me, tier 1 in the 3rd lane going to be going down for Absolute Legends. They only have 1 outer tower left, 15.5 minutes. Oh, it does look like there's going to be some engagements happening down here in the bottom lane. Unicorn getting glimpsed back in. He's going to get the Urn put on him, and with the Thunder Strike, that's going to be just a dominating streak for the Disruptor. Warcry coming out. They're going to try and get someone else right here. Rye's going to port out safely, but it looks like that Keeper of the Light might be the next one to go down. Mania going to try and be sneaky, but oh, getting caught in by Loda. There's the stun. There's the block coming out from the creep. Blinding Light going to try and save him, and 5 kills in a row for that Disruptor. That was not something that Absolute Legends could afford, because not only did they lose their Phantom Lancer and a couple of other heroes as well in exchange for maybe, what did they get? 2 heroes? 1 hero? I think only the Darkseer died there. lost 2 heroes, and they lost the top tower because NTH only had to port back 3 heroes to defend that. Miracle now going to engage on Ake. Ake going to burn his Hand of God. Don't think it's going to quite be enough to save him. Soulcatcher's going to come out, and Shadow Demon is going to finish him off. Good pick off by AL, and that's what they need to be doing to get back into this game. They need to try, as much as I really think the PL, until he has a heart, is going to be really weak against that Sven Cleave. If they can farm him out to the point where he gets the heart, he has the Manta, he has, you know, maybe someone gets an AC, so his illusions have a bunch of bonus armor. That's the kind of time when maybe this Phantom Lancer can take on the Sven. But until then, the Cleave is just going to do so much to clear out that army of illusions that he's going to be at a real disadvantage. So they need to drag this for a long time. And right now, NTH is trying to play that same kind of aggressive mid-game kind of snowball strat that they played last game. They still have a Chen, which is still a very aggressive mid-game hero. They've gotten a huge amount of pushing done already, so that AL is really, really lacking in map control. I mean, they haven't quite done all the counter warding yet. They still have a little bit of vision, but that's going to expire really soon. And you have to imagine that AL is not going to feel particularly comfortable going out to ward too far out. They're not going to be able to ward maybe not even as far out as the Roche pit, which is going to be, of course, very, very critical. With no map control left, you'd think that next time NTH gets a pick-off, they're going to be going for that Roshan.
Bottom tower's been disowned.
But AL has to play very careful, pick-off-oriented Dota right now. And they do have a team that can do it, with the Blink on the Brewmaster and with the Clockwork. They can definitely... Oh, Cog's going to come out, but the Static Storm getting a drop to try and get Miracle. Let him and Miguel both get out of the way of that. Disruptor not going to go down. Looks like he's going to get sent back to base by Ake. Nice support coming in. There's the God Strength. Cleave damage coming out, trying to cleave down all of those pandas. Nice blocking coming down to make sure the Storm Panda can't get chased down. Loda's BKB just going to run, not really doing a whole lot for him. But now Miracle coming back right inside. They decided, oh, we like having that Earth Panda there. We know you're going to respawn there. Stormbolt finishes him off, and this is looking more and more dangerous for AL. Losing that Brewmaster, you know, their primary teamfight controller, before they even get engaged in their tower, letting NTH just push the uphill, especially with the Cleave. S4 got to be careful. They're taking a whole lot of damage. How are the heals on Ake? Mech's on cooldown. A Hand of God is not, but he doesn't have the mana for it. So between the Phantom Lancer and the Coddle, they are going to be able to turtle out that mid lane a little longer at least. Unicorn just going back to farming. No interest whatsoever in engaging what he doesn't have to, and that's good. Like I said, they have to play very, very careful and clean Dota right now. I mean, mistakes can be capitalized upon. I mean, especially Darkseer lets you capitalize a lot more effectively simply because of the extra move speed you're getting out of him. And Disruptor, even more so because of Glimpse. If you make a mistake near Disruptor, even if you back off from your mistake, and against any other hero you would have recovered, or any other non-blink hero you would have recovered, he just puts you right back in the bad position you were 5 seconds ago. So, you have to play extra careful against a Disruptor and a Darkseer with that Surge. Not quite as careful as you have to play, say, against maybe, oh, I don't know, a Queen of Pain, or against a Wisp CK, but can get a lot done, those two heroes. Unicorn doing a little bit of pushing in the bottom lane, but no, Tidehunter, they don't care. They say, if you want to push our bottom lane down there, we're just going to go ahead and walk into your base. There's the pipe from S4, going to protect against most of the damage on those creeps. Keep them alive. Miguel going to use those cogs to try and keep NTH out of his uphill for a little bit longer. Give Coddle enough time to charge another blast. The Bear just hitting. Loda now just hitting. Pops God Strength. Loda does not care. He's just going to sit there and fight. But he's also just going to sit there and tank damage while his Mask of Madness is running. Alright, the tower is finally down. Loda down to about a third of his life from 2/3. The mech did get popped off by Chen. Does he still have the Hand of God? Yes, he does. So once the mech is off cooldown, they'll have even more healing. Urn comes out to try and give Loda a bit more, but the Shadow Poison going to pop it off. Miracle gets an incredible Thunderclap, but he gets... Oh, is he going to get... He got stunned and disrupted. The Static Storm is going to keep him silenced. He can't use his ult. He couldn't ulti. He was stunned and silenced for the whole time, and that just ruined their team fight. After an amazing start with the clap, and there's the glimpse back in on Unicorn. He's going to go down. Loda also going to go down. Phantom Lancer going to buy back. They can't give up this set of Raxes. They know that it's so dangerous to give NTH any more of an advantage than they already have, but that melee Rax is going to go down. Unicorn going to try and finish off Bulldog, though, but he does get surged. Oh, but purged off? Purged off? Oh, Ake being cheeky, sending him right back to base. So in the end, they trade a bunch of heroes for Loda and a Rex. No, excuse me, they trade a bunch of heroes and a Rex for Loda, which is not what they were looking for. And now, looking back at the net worth graph, 11,000 on Loda, 10,500 on S4, and 7,600 on Unicorn on that poor Phantom Lancer. Over 10,000 XP, over 15,000 gold. This is looking to go the way of no Tidehunter, but AL not ready to give it up just quite yet. They are in the Roshan pick, going to try and pick that up so they have some extra defensive power, give them another 6 minutes where NTH won't want to engage so they can get their farm going. Again, if they can get this Phantom Lancer farmed enough, even with the cleave, if his illusions are tanky enough, they might still be able to pull this out. The game is not over. It's looking bad, but it is not over. I can't emphasize that enough. And yeah, no Tidehunter knew they would be looking for that Roshan. Obviously, the smart thing for AL to do with loaded down would have been to get Roshan, but they couldn't get him down fast enough. They've only took down about a third of his life before they saw NTH coming in with this ward of theirs. Now NTH says, okay, we'll take Roshan. What do you want to do about it? The Coddle Nuke is going to slow them down. Well, not slow them down, but show them where they are. But no, they're not going to contest the Roshan. They know AL knows how important it is, but they also know that they can't really do anything about it. And they missed any opportunity they may have had. Loader's just going to sell off his wand for that Aegis. Is that? That's an armlet on a bear. Bear doesn't get the HP removal from armlet? Bear doesn't lose HP? That's hilarious. I don't think it's optimal, but it's funny. an extra 31 damage on the bear. I mean, for pushing, I guess that's not even that bad. Although I think the fact that you're not getting the 25 strength to the damage is a pretty big hit. But God, that's funny.
There it goes.
I was wondering what the purple glow on the bear was. It's an armlet. Oh man, that's glorious. Coddle Nuke gonna come out, try to stop NTH from pushing in, but it misses most of the creeps. Catches Loda, but he's just gonna get earned up. And there's the pipe on that big creep wave coming in. All of the Chen creeps. Kinetic Field's gonna try and it's gonna catch Mania and force out anyone else. Looks like Rise got vacuumed into it. Neither of them gonna go down. But glimpse back on Mania, but they're just trying to throw them out of position, make sure they're not ready. Clap Initiation comes out. There's the Brewmaster Ultimate. The Chen heal, though, tries to reset everything. EGM going to go down really quickly, but an instant buyback. Phantom Lancer going down. Miguel on the Clockwork going down. Loda picking up a double kill. This Rax is going to drop, and that does, I think, make this situation a little bit untenable for Absolute Legends here. And they played a solid game. They got good pickoffs, but no Tidehunter just looking superb today, punishing every single mistake, winning every lane they're in, and not because of, again, not because AL played badly, but because NTH is just playing so well. And hey, it's good to see them back in good form. They'd been underperforming. I guess maybe they thought the switch up of chemistry, dropping Envy would help them a lot. And so far, with their stand-in EGM, he played an excellent game. On the Disruptor, what did he pick up? 619 on a support Disruptor. His motion was good, his glimpses were great, his static storms were amazing. And just using Kinetic Field both to zone people out and to lock people in. Maybe we're seeing the rebirth, the resurgence of no Tidehunter. Because after DreamHack, they underperformed. They know it. We know it. And it's great to see them playing this well. Hopefully they keep this up. So there's Mega Creeps up. Fountain dives are happening. We know the game is over. People are going to die. Loda having his fun. Burn off his Aegis. But that'll be a 2-0 victory for no Tidehunter over Absolute Legends. Bannable ability. Is Loda angry? I'm confused. Huh. I don't actually know what he's talking about. NTH going to pay for their Fountain Dive, but with the Mega Creeps starting to come in each lane, No, not quite there, but there we go. 133 damage, 100 damage. And looks like his form might actually go down as well. Nuke's gonna come after Todd, remove that magic resistance. He's gonna try to surge himself away, but yeah, 8-second cogs. Pretty good.
Hope the Dire weren't partial to that mid tower.
They don't want to call the GG. They want to play it out as long as possible. Make NTH work for it.
Technical difficulties.
There's a stun coming out on a Mania. He's gonna... Oh no, he's gonna push sticked away, not die. Bulldog gonna die again. Loda gonna die again.
2 down.
Come back. Come back. It's just Mega Creeps, guys. Oh, Loda. Loda. Wow. BM. BM. I mean, is it over? Yeah. Do you say GG before your opponents? Not in a pro game, you don't. Oh well. He played quite solidly, so
The Dire couldn't hang
I guess he
on
feels
to that
like
mid
he's
tower.
entitled to a little bit of BM, even if it's not my style.
It's sundown.
That's a
for the
lie.
Dire's
I BM
ancient.
people all the
Is
time in
this
public
it?
games.
Might be
Still
over for the
fighting.
Dire's
I mean,
ancient.
are they just trying to piss off NTH as much as they can? Make sure they have to work for this. Mania gonna be the next one to go down right now. Got the Thunderstrike on him. Oh, and he's not gonna get away. I think range creeps were all over him. Miracle getting glimpsed back. Oh, I glimpsed him away from all the creeps that were about to kill him. Oh, he gets the urn put on him. Miguel getting stunned out inside the cogs. Loda trying to run in. Getting shoved by cogs all over the place.
It's heating
But then
up
just
at
taking
the
the
Dire's
swing.
side, ancient.
Buyback from Clockwork, fortifying their ancient. Oh, this is just silly.
We outnumber
This is I'm sorry if I'm just kind of rambling at this point, but it's just funny to me to watch this happen. I guess AL is not happy with what's happening here, and they wanna irritate NTH a bit. But the ancient is gonna go down finally, and there we go. Well played by both teams. I do think AL played a good game. I just think NTH played a much better one, and they're really showing a lot of strength, which after a roster change-up, that's good. You'd expect it to kind of shake things up a bit, and it looks like it happened in a good way. So well played. Thank you everyone for watching. I will be back Friday night, same time, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific, midnight UCT, for another cast right here, twitchtv.hippie.dota. You can check me out on YouTube at youtube.com/medicalhippie. And that's it for the night. Thanks, guys. Take care.